you ever wondered why some people can't seem to stop gossiping? Why politicians lie so effortlessly? Why your coworker constantly complains? Or why that Instagram influencer only posts about themselves? Today we are diving into something that will make you uncomfortable, because it should. In Matthew 12:34, Jesus said, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh." This isn't just some ancient wisdom, it's a psychological and truth bomb that's about to expose what's really going on inside all of us. Your words aren't just sounds, they are evident. Evident that will either convict you or set you free. Think about the story of Adam and Eve for a moment. The serpent didn't force the forbidden fruit down their throats. He used words. Did God really say? Those four words changed humanity forever. Words created worlds in Genesis, and they still create your world today. When God confronted Cain after he murdered Abel, what did he point to first? The hateful words in Cain's heart that preceded the violence in his hands. These patterns appear throughout Scripture. Words reveal the heart, and the heart drives action. It's why Solomon wrote in Proverbs that death and life are in the power of the tongue. He wasn't being poetic. He was really being deadly serious. Let's be brutally honest here. We have created a culture that celebrates toxic speech. We reward the loudest, most outrageous voices with attention, followers, and influence. We have normalized verbal cruelty as just being honest and dismiss harmful rhetoric as just joking around. But Jesus cut through this deception with surgical precision. When you habitually use sarcasm as a weapon, it's not just a communication style, it reveals a heart full of contempt. When you can't stop criticizing others, it's not discernment, it's a heart full of judgment. When you constantly talk about yourself, it's not confidence, it's a heart centered on self-worship. The words flowing from your mouth are just symptoms of a deeper heart condition. Remember the Pharisees who confronted Jesus. They spoke religious words while plotting murder in their hearts. Jesus called them what they were: whitewashed tombs, clean on the outside, rotten on the inside. Their polished prayers and theological arguments couldn't hide what was really in their hearts. Your carefully crafted social media posts, your professional emails, your practiced explanation, they might fool others, but they don't fool God. And eventually, they won't even fool you. As James writes, the same tongue that blesses God on Sunday curses people made in God's image on Monday. This spiritual schizophrenia reveals a deeply divided heart. But here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Jesus didn't say our words reveal what's in our hearts, occasionally or partially. He said they reveal what our hearts are abundant with. Whatever dominates your speech is what saturates your heart. Take a moment and honestly assess what topics dominate your conversations. Is it complaints, criticism, gossip, fears, self-promotion, judgment? Or is it gratitude, encouragement perhaps, truth, wisdom, hope? Your verbal patterns aren't random. They are regulatory. They are diagnostic. They are exposing what's overflowing from within you. The ancient desert fathers practiced silence not because speech was evil, but because they understood this principle. They knew that undisciplined speech reveals an undisciplined heart. In our hyper-connected world of constant communication, we have lost this wisdom. We feel entitled to express every thought, share every opinion, and voice every feeling without considering what these verbal patterns reveal about our spiritual condition. Moses stood before the burning bush and removed his sandals because he was on holy ground. Perhaps we should remove our shoes more often before we speak, recognizing that our words tread on sacred territory. Remember the woman at the well who met Jesus. Her conversation began about water, but quickly exposed what was abundant in her heart: relational brokenness and spiritual thirst. Jesus didn't condemn her. He offered living water to transform her heart, which then transformed her speech. She went from hiding in shame to boldly proclaiming Christ. This is the miracle we all need. Not just behavior modification for our toxic speech patterns, but heart transformation that changes what overflows from us. Trying to clean up your language without addressing your heart is like putting on a filter on polluted water instead of cleaning the source. Here's the controversial truth that few will tell you: your words aren't just expressing your heart, they are shaping it. Every time you verbalize a complaint, you are watering the root of bitterness. Every time you speak judgment, you are fertilizing the seed of pride. Every time you voice a fear, you are nurturing the plant of anxiety. Your mouth isn't just revealing your heart, it's reinforcing it. This is why David prayed, "Set a guard over my mouth, O Lord." He understood that undisciplined speech doesn't just reveal character flaws, it deepens them. In the attention economy of social media, we are incentivized to say whatever gets the most engagement, not what reflects a healthy heart. This is spiritual malpractice. So, what do we do with this uncomfortable truth? First, we must accept that our words are evident in the divine courtroom. Second, we must be willing to trace our toxic speech patterns back to their heart source. If your words are consistently critical, ask what unhealed wounds is feeding that criticism. If your words are dominated by fear, identify what false beliefs are generating that anxiety. If your words constantly center on yourself, examine what insecurity is driving that self-promotion. Then, like David, bring these heart conditions before God in raw honesty. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Not just clean speech, a clean source. The good news of the gospel is that Jesus offers more than behavior management. He offers heart transformation. The same voice that spoke worlds into existence can speak a new life into your heart. That same word that became flesh can put new words in your mouth. But this demands more than adding religious language to toxic speech patterns. It requires surrender to the Spirit's conviction and healing. It means allowing God to excavate what's really abundant in your heart, even when that process is painful. Ultimately, the words that will bring life to others can only flow from your heart that's been brought to life by Christ. So I'll leave with you this question: if your words are the evidence, what verdict would they bring about what truly fills your heart? And Are you ready to allow God to change that verdict by changing your heart? That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and remember to turn on that notification bell that you'll never miss an upload. Have a good one, and God bless. Thank you.